Hi, friends. I hope everybody's doing well. I haven't done any vlogging in quite a while. Years. And reason being, I wasn't there. I wasn't ready to do so. And you know, uh, right now I'm at that point where I just recently moved and thinking about a lot of things, including like my life, my journey. Wow, it looks like I have a black eye. I promise it's just allergies. Allergies are really bad right now. But anyway, all that to say, gone through a lot in my life, and one of the things is I wanted to use that for coaching. Um, but in so doing, I've realized like I tried every which way to propel myself forward and getting a coaching practice together, and a lot of things just didn't manifest itself. So, um, but what I keep thinking about is, I'd love to do a blog conversation with myself and possibly with others. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. Of just kind of not just my spiritual journey, but the spiritual journey in just talking with things. There's been a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, and um, just want to invite others to come along with my conversation that I'm having with myself and see if you're doing that too. Probably don't have the exact same story as I do, but maybe something similar. I don't know. Maybe that'll something. I can't even think of the word. Maybe that'll make you think of something that maybe you want to think through. Um, but mainly we'll just start from kind of sort of some history. And my parents are still alive, so I'm trying to be. Anytime I bring up my parents, I want to be very gentle and honoring. So for me, currently I consider myself agnostic. I used to be, um, I would say, a 3.5 point Calvinist, and um, not just Sunday churchgoer, but Sunday, Wednesday, and every other day that there was something going on. Because I love learning more about the gospel, about Christ, and how to share it with others, and not just share it with others, but how to understand my own life, my own faith. Um, and of course, I love to get together with other believers as well. My starting with my beginning journey. About seventh grade, I was invited to a well-known Baptist church in Dallas, Texas, called Prestonwood Baptist. And long story short, I became a born-again Christian, said the prayer, and youth group was where I found myself all the time. And I know that a lot of people, in junior high, high school, same way, that, the youth group was the place to be. That was where all their friend group was. And that was kind of for me as well. I was a kid that was bullied on relentlessly growing up. And so the church was a refuge, honestly. My home life was horrible. And I could go to church, and that was the one place that I felt respected. It was the one place that I felt nobody would try to abuse me or harm me. And it was my safe place, if you will, my refuge. So, all that to say, that's where I found myself. And, dived into the Christian subculture. If you know anything about Prestonwood, it is what they call a megachurch. So, Prestonwood is a place that you could be there every day of the week and every day in between, if you will. You can live there practically, and that's what I did. Um, like I said, I'm trying to honor my parents in this, but the home life was not that great. Um, uh, I had all my earthly possessions provided for, but a lot of other possessions, not so much in terms of, if we go back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, love and belonging. Not so much. And from a very early age, and this is something that I'm going to talk about, I don't want to go too deep about, because it's something else that I'm still talking through with myself about, if you will. But because my father is a perfectionist, and he would probably own that, and my mother is just somebody that she had so much going on her plate as a mother, and working mom as well. She just kind of did whatever my father said. And my father wasn't the nicest man. I will tell you that my parents are still together today. He was, and I've said this to him before, and I know that I've noticed he's trying to work on it, so I'll give him that. My father loved me on a scale of love, but he did not like me. From the moment I was born, I was not the daughter he wanted. Again, I've point blank said that to him. I am somebody that is a point blank person, and I don't mind point blank saying things. I grew up having to hide things, and so at this point, I'm just gonna call a spade a spade. So, knowing that I was not the daughter that my father wanted, I did not know that. I wasn't able to verbalize that till I got much older. I would say probably in the last 5 years. So, having said that, because I didn't operate in the way that my father expected a girl to, as a tomboy. Now, we think in terms of this is 2023 and the woke culture and all that. No, I didn't think I was gay. I didn't think I was a boy, anything like that. I was just a tomboy. I wanted to do tomboy things. I wanted to play sports. I still don't to this day like to wear dresses or makeup, or get my nails done. And that's kind of the box that my father had for a woman. And even as young as the second grade, my father told me if I wore makeup, I would be prettier. So having said that, I couldn't verbalize any of that growing up. It's been a long time to try to verbalize this. And so, to be honest, the woke culture really pisses me off a lot. I will be quite frank with you guys, because I feel like little girls like me can't openly say they don't have the way to verbalize. I am fine with my boobs and my vagina. I do not think I'm gay. I'm totally, attracted to boys with penises. But maybe I'm a tomboy. I like sports. I like to go out and play in the creek. So what? We don't have to put a label on that. Sorry, I could go on. But all that to say, I'm thankful that I was born in 1977 and not a teenager today, because I'm sure the doctors that my parents took me to would have convinced them otherwise, and I probably would not have my boobs today, just being honest. Yeah, so this culture we have right now is not very sensitive to tomboys and understanding that women can feel like women and be tomboys, and that pisses me off a lot. Anyway, we will move on from that. But all that to say, I wasn't the woman that my dad wanted. So his way of dealing with that was to send me to psychologists and psychiatrists and things like that. I was told I had bipolar, I had this, I had that. Mind you, I never got in trouble at school. Never was a behavioral problem. When I became a preteen and teen, I said, no, I don't want to unload the dishwasher, but what teenager says, oh, I'll willingly do all these things? Welcome to teenagehood, right? Let's be real. But anyway, I was never a problem child. Never ran away, never did drugs or drink any of those behavioral issues. Never once. Even to this day, at 45 years old, I've never been drunk in my life, nor do I have nor do I want to. Never done drugs, nor do I want to. Um, I've always been a good girl, if you will. I didn't have my first sip of alcohol till I was 29, almost 30 years old, and that was with my mom wine tasting at a winery in Wisconsin. Funny, right? Anyway, but all that said, there's just a for the history as I'm setting up the history. There was never any reason to put labels on me, but because I wasn't the daughter that my father wanted, labels were put upon me, if that makes sense. So, having said that, growing up was very difficult, bullied constantly. Went to a different school every year from, fourth grade, fifth grade till junior of high school, and that was only because we moved states from Dallas, Texas to Germantown, Tennessee, outside of Memphis. And when we moved, I told myself I'm tired of changing schools. I want to graduate from the same school that I start my junior year of high school at, because I was tired of changing schools. Changed schools or moved to Memphis, and then found a decent church. But the worst part about moving was leaving my great church there, Prestonwood, and I had to go. Found another great church. They were good people. It was good. But it was only for 2 years, so that was the other thing too. It was only 2 years. I wasn't too devoted to the church, and I found friends, but not friends like I had over at Prestonwood. So anyway, but all that to say, it wasn't till, one of the things is that music was, I was hardcore into music growing up. Music was a refuge from what I would call an abusive environment. The house environment was abusive in every way but sexually. And so, having said that, it was just something that music was something that I knew I couldn't sing. I sound like a dying horse when I sing. So, but one of the things I did get into was radio. I thought to myself, you know what, I could be a DJ any day of the week. I love to talk, hence a podcast, vlogcast, whatever the heck you want to call it. But yeah, so radio was my thing. And so I was, of course, into Christian music. And so thinking about Christian music and the Christian subculture that I was highly involved in, I thought about, where do I want to go to college? In college, of course, Nashville, Tennessee was considered like the Mecca for Christian music, if you will. And so Nashville was where I wanted to go. I wanted to be in the Christian music industry and radio and this and that. So graduated from college and moved to Nashville, graduated from high school and went to college in Nashville, Tennessee, at a Christian university, of course, they were the only Christian school in Nashville that had a radio program. So that's kind of sort of what brought me to Nashville. And I was in Nashville for 13 years. In Nashville was a great time of learning and growing spiritually, as well as a lot of trauma. So there are a lot of great times. I had a lot of trauma. And where do I start? You know what? I think that is where I want to stop. And next episode will be Nashville. Let's see, when was that? My freshman year was 1997. And so that's when I started college. So we'll talk next time about college in Nashville, Tennessee, and the beautiful times. We'll start with the beautiful times in Nashville. How about that? But yeah, so this episode, you got a little background. We might revisit some of the background next time. We will see. But having said that, like, let me know kind of sort of what your thoughts are, what your experiences are. Like I said, I know that I'm having a one-way conversation with myself, but would love to know as I start talking about my journey if anybody else has had similar experiences and whatnot. You know, this vlog, blog, whatever you want to call it, is I don't want it to always be a one-way conversation. So you know, I want to hear other people's thoughts and join in, and hopefully this is a healing journey, not just for me but others. Anyway, peace out.